Welcome into the
good.
DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR and we sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Rudo, Jesse, Blais coming at you as the Avs, for the first time in 4 years.
It almost sounds like you are instructing you and I to go Blais. Rudo, Jesse, Blais.
We're about to go Blais.
You take over the show from here.
Blazing would have made this game better to watch. Man. For the first time in 4 years, the Avs lose 4 regular season games in a row.
There it is.
That's right.
The asterisks.
Yep.
They might have lost 4 games in a row about a year ago around this time. No comment. Obviously, not great. Not a game you're going to be super happy with from any stretch of the imagination, certainly from the offense or the defense. You're probably okay with the goaltender. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Well, we'll get to that. I don't know if you will.
Oh, come on. Calm down.
Wow.
Calm. Let's start with the first 2 periods where a lot happened, but nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
60-second rundown?
Oh, yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
Let's give it to Blais over here. I would love to hear this version of it.
Let's see. The Avs didn't do much, period, except for the goaltender, who played great for 2 periods. And then in the third period, everybody shit the bed.
He left. He said bye.
Yeah, he's done.
Compher said, I'm out. I'm done doing this crap. He stood on his head for 2 periods.
Yeah,
True enough.
yeah. I didn't want to. I didn't know if that are you officially
Stop
cutting
the clock?
No, I'm
stop the-
telling you, I'm
okay.
down. I'm down to like 20 seconds.
Okay. Oh yeah. Let's say you've dialed this in.
This time, you use it for whatever you want, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, the Avs suck right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you gonna try to defend the Avs
15,
tonight?
15 more seconds.
Are you gonna try to defend them? No, the Avs are just awful right now. This is like awful hockey. Everyone should be concerned. They could be a first-round exit.
Okay.
All right, you're done. You're done.
That's Blaze's 60 seconds.
Yeah. Cut his mic.
The Avs were not good. I think Blaze is correct. The Avs did not play a good hockey game by any stretch of the imagination, unless your name is Darcy Kuemper.
He played
Did he-
2 of 3 good periods.
See, I disagree. I thought he was phenomenal all night. Ryan and I were sitting up here, and Ryan said halfway through the game, he goes, it's going to take a crazy fluky bounce to beat him. The first 2 are crazy fluky bounces that get by him, and
What about the other 2?
I mean, that's one Kyle Connor by himself, a 45 goal scorer by himself, no one within 15 feet of him in front of the net. And then the other one's Nick Ehlers, 10 feet out from the blue paint off a designed face-off play, getting a clean look.
The freest of free.
Which of those 4 are you going to put on Darcy Kuemper?
Those last 2.
Oh, my God. Not the Jack Johnson turnover, not the EJ and Kadri disaster
There was
at the blue
a
line.
lot of pizzas tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Eating right, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a good hockey game. I don't think anyone in their right mind would try and defend this hockey game from the Avs.
But the Avs do be sucking.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nope.
Okay. The thing is, like, look at the first 2 periods of this game and look at the entire game against Edmonton. And what's the difference?
Are you asking, or is this like a rhetorical that you're going to just answer?
It's kind of both.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
I'll answer it if you guys don't want to.
Yeah, you go ahead. You take it.
The only difference is Darcy Kuemper was making saves
Yeah.
for 40 minutes
Yeah.
of this
Yeah.
hockey game.
Yep.
Like, that is genuinely the only difference.
I thought there was a little more jump in their step tonight in those first 2 periods than what we saw in Edmonton. Now, that's a pretty low bar. But I thought I saw more guys with their legs moving at least. Like, it wasn't as much coasting.
They only played
the first 2
1
periods.
period in Edmonton.
Yeah.
The first period.
Yeah. Hey, we're building. We are building, folks.
So they did 2 periods
Yeah,
this time.
yeah.
Okay.
So, here's my thing. I don't think anything about tonight, the previous games, and what's going to happen in the next couple of games has any impact on how they'll perform in the playoffs. I do not think those things are correlated at all. I get it. You want to be feeling good, playing, coming off a win, all that stuff going to the playoffs. I get it. This team has showed repeatedly throughout the season that they have the ability to take it up when they need to. You never want to just, leave things to chance or anything like that. And again, like I just said, I get it. You want the good feelings and all that stuff. I don't think these have any direct impact on how the playoffs are being played. That being said, all of
You
that
see me
being
over here,
said,
don't you?
yeah. I mean, this just isn't. They have talked all year about we have a standard that we hold ourselves to, and it's because of that why I think they have been as good as they have been and as consistent as they have been.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what we think, what the national media thinks, what scouts from other teams think. They are concerned with what is going on in their locker room, and they hold themselves. Jared Bednar has said it 3 or 4 times when asked about, do you guys feel the pressure? He said, nobody outside of this locker room is going to put more pressure on us than we put on ourselves. So, no, we're not worried about what anyone else thinks. And it's just weird watching these last few games. They're not playing to their standard, and up until tonight, they didn't look bothered by it. They looked like they had the mentality that we had. Yeah. Oh, well. Tonight, I don't know if you guys paid attention after the final horn. They did a pan of the Avs bench about 10 seconds after the final horn had gone. Nobody had gotten up, and they looked pissed. And that was the first time I had seen that in a week and a half, and I think that's a good thing. It's resonating. We left Darcy Kuemper out to dry tonight. He put us in a winnable game. We had a lead in the third period, and we just, not only did we take our foot off the gas, we fell asleep.
Yeah.
Completely. And you end up with another unfavorable result. 4 losses in a row. Doesn't feel good, but it looked for the first time in a week like that resonated with the players. That, hey, that standard we've talked about all year, this isn't even close.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment 100% from the Avs side. And ultimately,
Just punch this thing into my own mouth.
it's about how the game went. So. A good analogy, to say the least. I'm sure everyone is mostly fine, and anyone that isn't fine will be sitting next game. Like, make no mistake about this. The Avs have not been shy about, if you're not 99%, take a seat. Don't play. Devon Taves isn't even on this trip.
Mikko Rantanen came home.
Yeah, he was so sick that he flew home and didn't play.
Yeah.
While, yes, the quality of play is poor. It needs to be better. I think everyone would agree with that.
Yep.
At the same time, the Avs have made their decision. Mm-hmm. There is no, we're trying to win the President's Trophy and we're just not playing well enough.
Right.
There is, we're going to be the second best team in the league by record, and we'll deal with our stuff when we get to the playoffs.
Well, they've gone full NBA, right? Like
straight up load management.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
And you typically don't see it in the NHL because usually these races at the top are a little bit closer. Again, I was up here just talking with a couple of our Nuggets guys and RK and just saying, like, it's unusual for an NHL team to have been out in front as long as the Avs have now by as wide of a margin as they have. Again, this has nothing to do with tonight or these last couple games where they've just looked bad. But like this is very unfamiliar territory, not just for us, but for this league. Like this, you just don't see this type of disparity much.
Let me ask you guys a question. Who are the 2 best players on the Avalanche?
Are you talking about like tonight
Players.
or in general?
In general.
McCarr and McKinnon.
I'd agree.
They were both on the ice tonight.
Yeah.
That's concerning to me.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you have, like, McKinnon hasn't done anything in these last few games. Is he taking these as just like for fun drop-in style games, or is this something where you should be concerned because they're not doing what they usually do? Or is it, let me just say it, like, hockey is a team sport. You need a lot of guys. Is it because you're missing Mikko? You're missing Taves that those guys aren't being productive?
Are you ready for a massive cop-out answer?
Yes,
Oh my
let's go.
God.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like for Nathan MacKinnon, he had the fighting scare thing a few weeks ago. I honestly, like, I don't think anybody's telling him don't go play 100%, but I'm positive that they have had the conversation of be smart.
Yeah.
Be smart. And what makes Nathan MacKinnon special is that physical edge where, you know, we've talked about it here, I'll go around you, I'll go through you, it doesn't matter, I'm going to beat you to the net. And I just think he's just intentionally, I'm going to pull up on this one. I think back to the injury he got a couple years ago, his shoulder injury. In that game against Vancouver. That was him taking a run at someone.
Yeah.
You know, he has the finger scare a couple weeks ago with the fight. So I think it's a little bit of that. And then 2, I do think there is a level of it that it just shows how important it is to have a great team. You look at Edmonton. They have they have what? The last 3 Hart Trophy winners and like the last 4 Rocket Richard and Art Ross winners. This will be their first trip back to the playoffs in 4 years. Like, this is the NHL. These are good teams. These are good players. That's a fully healthy Winnipeg Jets team. Kyle Connor scored 45 goals this year. Nick
They're
Ehlers
playing
is a good
for
player.
nothing right now, though.
Sure, so are the Avs. So are the Avs.
They're playing for the playoffs.
This is like
No, they're not. They're in.
what I genuinely agree with here is what you see McKinnon doing. If his wingers are Landy and Rantanen,
Right.
those two dudes do some dope shit, and
Yeah.
everything looks
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's playing with Lehkonen and Val for most of this line. And not to take away from both of those dudes. They're good players. They're good at what they do.
Yeah.
But Matt can't just walk through the slot and dish it to those guys and expect the same kind of results.
Last game we were talking about how Nuke was playing out of his mind.
I mean, he is, but he's not a world-class shooter like Mikko Rantanen.
Right.
Hey, dude, I was berated when I celebrated the Val Nichushkin signing. I am Team Val 100%, but he's not Mikko Rantanen. I saw someone say that Rudo and I are being delusional. Like, the Avs have 116 points. They locked up the number 1 seed in the West with like 13 games to go.
like,
What do you want? What do you want?
I don't know what to tell you.
Win
because
every game, go 82-0, or we're pissed. The pitchforks are coming
It's
out.
not even that to me. It's like Jared Bednar actively came out and said, "We don't care about the President's Trophy."
Right.
So
yeah.
like
sending the message to the team.
Like there's no secrets out here about
Right.
what the Avs are doing.
But he
Right.
also comes out in pressers and says that's not good enough from the team.
Well, it's not black and white, right? It's some of A, some of B. Obviously, you look at this game and you're like, yeah, the Avs offense played like shit.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Offense and defense, not just one.
You're
of them.
not wrong. You're
Well,
not wrong.
It was just sloppy.
Yeah.
It was just like I said. I thought the effort in the first 40 minutes was better than what we've seen on this road trip, but even then, passes were just a second behind, just a foot too far. They were bouncing. I mean, Jack Johnson gets bailed out by Darcy Kuemper when he just misses the puck. I saw the puck skip on Kale at the blue line a couple times. That almost never happens to him.
No.
It was just one of those things where the effort didn't seem to matter because it was like it just wasn't there.
Yeah, and I do think people underestimate the Avs are missing 2 of their top 3 forwards. That's not just McKinnon has weaker wingers. That is all the way down the lineup.
The Vegas
dudes are
Golden
playing
Knights-
above their head.
The Vegas Golden Knights are about to have missing the playoffs written off because they missed their 2 top guys for
Right,
too long.
right.
Like, there's a bunch of people that are like, as much as everyone is reveling in the fact that they may miss, like, there are so many people that are like, well, you can't take it too seriously because they didn't have Stone and Pacioretty. It's the same thing. Just the Avs don't make excuses. They're just like, yeah, we sucked.
Yep.
That's the only difference. And it's annoying. And Blais, you're honestly right. Like, they looked bad. They have looked bad.
Yeah.
If it's not for Darcy Kuemper, this game probably gets a little bit out of hand. But
Did Sam Girard play tonight? I don't know if I saw him on the
he
ice.
did, yeah.
Okay.
He had one play near the end where Kyle Connor missed a wide open net and Sam Girard was literally standing just straight up and down. It's like, my guy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But where I really do, like, I don't think anybody needs to worry, panic about this being a long-term thing.
There is no argument that the Avs have played like shit over the last 4 games. Anyone who says otherwise is just wrong, like factually. The conversation is built around where do you stand on the Avs right now? Are you seriously worried about these 4 games? Or is it the end of the regular season and you don't care? And, like, let's be real. The real answer is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Like, obviously you don't not care at all. You want the Avs to play well. Totally understand that.
Yep.
You don't want bad habits to sneak in.
Losing sucks.
But at the same time, they're playing games that don't matter. It's human nature. Anyone who's played a game, you're 3-0 in pools, and you have to play another game. You've secured the first seed, and you're like, I don't give a shit about
if I lose this game. Yeah.
I mean, there's been tournaments where we're like, can we just skip our last game? Before you know, like when you're doing round robin, it's like, can we just skip these games and just whatever?
Jump straight in.
Yeah.
And we should say big Nuggets win on Allie's birthday. Big
The
shout
actual
out.
game
Let's
that
go.
matters.
Hoping the Avs can round it out for
Allie.
Allie's birthday, but
Let her down. Let her down big time.
She doesn't know what to do.
I thought she was maybe going to just lens cap it. Like, you guys are done. Yeah.
I mean, I'm concerned about these games. I'm not concerned about the playoffs because I don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
I can't say this is how the Avs are going to play. But if you're just looking at it from this segment of games and where it lands during the season, you know, you want your team to be playing their best hockey at this point in the season. And you're seeing that from the Blues, even though they did give up a lot of goals last night, but they are in a good stretch of hockey.
Yep.
And they're still playing meaningful hockey, though.
So
Like, they're looking for home ice advantage, right? The Avs aren't doing that.
Here's
you
my-
are concerned about that.
Chat is talking about the power play, and the power play is bad. And it's like,
Missing
the
a
top
bunch of
unit is
players.
missing 2 of their 5 goal scorers.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to devil's advocate you a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's the one other thing that I do think people have forgotten. Do you guys remember what streak was snapped right before this 4-game losing streak started?
nope.
A 9-game winning streak.
I knew it.
So, like, that is something to keep in mind that up until 5 days ago,
Up until they started resting and some injuries and sicknesses happening, they were playing great hockey.
they were absolutely on the upswing. And what was the narrative from fans then? Oh, are we peaking too soon? Like, aren't you glad that you got?
And the answer was yes, they were peaking too soon.
Right. This is funny.
Honestly, it's amazing. This is genuinely awesome. Like, accurate. Someone with artistic
That's
talent, please draw this.
But you know, like that is just a little bit of context to keep in mind. And here's the overly optimistic way that I'm choosing to look at it. And before anybody even thinks about typing Homer, burgundy colored shades, I'm acknowledging that this is an overly optimistic, almost
He
kind
knows.
of joke take.
I mean, your
knows.
glasses do have burgundy and blue in them.
Yeah,
I think
he's got
it's brown, right?
No, that is.
That's brown.
It's pretty brown.
It's brown and blue.
I think you
Turquoise, even.
You
if you
could
will.
convince me that there's some shades of red.
I mean, you could make. This is next.
Anyways,
this
go
is
on.
next pod. We'll do my glasses next pod. I'm glad they're getting this shitty hockey out of the way now. Get it out of your system. Get the take a big bowl of this sucks a week before the playoffs, and then that way you can go in. You got all that out of your system. Your lineup's back healthy. Now it's time to cruise.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of the fans that are upset want the Avs to put a little hair on their chest, right? Because I think part of the problem is they see the Avs lose these games and they don't feel like they're getting into the action enough, right? They're not mixing it up. They're not throwing the body around. They're not giving them the Manscaped tea bag, if you know what I'm saying. You know you're Manscaped too.
How do you know that? That's the question.
How do I know? I just know. You can look at a chat. When you look at a man, can you tell if they're Manscaped? Yes or no? Yes or no, chat. Either way, if you're not, go over to manscaped.com. You can get over there. You can get amazing deals. You get the perfect package 4.0. We have a new code for you that I totally forgot last time that I have to look up because, I'm good at my job. Definitely.
I'm just impressed at how much of these reads you remember off the top of your head.
Dude, that's
Very true.
just what I do, all right?
Oh.
When I'm in the zone, you got to know all the reads. Manscaped.com, perfect package 4.0. Oh, God, is the read not in here? It's not? Am I on my own here, Avaka?
Man.
There, no, we found it. We good.
Oh,
We're
man.
good. We found it.
Just like the Avs tonight.
There are over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. You get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Europeans, no excuses.
Prestige.
Free shipping worldwide
Prestige.
with Manscaped. Jump on it. Use the code AVS. AVS. Because we don't want Broncos or Nuggets taking any credit for our Manscaped.
Use that promo code.
Use code AVS to get in there and get yourself some Manscaped.
Could you shave like an A?
Ooh, a little like landing strip A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get the puck in on the side? Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You could do the Stadium Series A, maybe a little bit easier.
Ooh, yeah, that
with
would
some
be
hard
that would be
edges,
more
yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah.
If you were doing the Stadium Series, it'd have to be from here, from your neck down.
I think the Illuminati with a C in the middle might be a little easier. I don't know.
Rudo could do it.
We're also brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. You can get them on tap here at the bar or find them at your local liquor store if you're in the States. Bunch of ridiculously different flavors. They genuinely have dozens of flavors. Like, if you like beer, they have a flavor for you. I guarantee it. So go check out Breck Brew. You can find them online at breckbrew.com. No 2 for a brew deal tonight because there were no goals in the first 2 periods combined. So that deal didn't hit, but maybe next time. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, if you are a fan of the Avalanche, on a game-by-game basis, I understand you being upset by these 4 games. Because none of these 4 games have been very fun to watch from an Avalanche side. They've not played well. They've not put a particularly great effort in. And you have the right to be upset about that because that's a garbage product. 100% willing to admit that. On the entire picture,
He's going to land it.
do you think that this is indicative of the Avalanche play? Honestly,
Playoffs?
do you think that this is indicative of who the Colorado Avalanche are? And if yes, why? Because personally, I don't think this is who the Avalanche are.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you look at the body of work over the year, they have 116 points, right? So you can't say like this is who they are. But if you look at it from a recency bias, this is the first time that they've lost 4 games in a row in 4 years. That puts a little concern. Even if you understand that they've done 116 points this year,
Yeah.
that there could be some concern here. The caveat, though, is they're missing a bunch of players.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm concerned right now. I'm not concerned about the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about do you get some bad habits out of this?
For sure.
But, I mean, from a defensive standpoint, it's just they're not playing well. That's the thing that concerns me. Now, is that something that seeps into the playoffs? I sure hope not. And with Taves coming back, it's going to help out tremendously. He's their best
For
defensive
sure.
player.
And so this comment here that says it shows that nobody takes the job of motivating the team to win. They set a franchise record for wins this year. They've literally never had more wins in their history. Colorado or Quebec, they've never won more games. And for some reason, we think because of these 4, nobody can motivate them to win.
Yeah.
We, as fans, sometimes forget that you play one 82-game season, not 82 one-game seasons. Feels like the sky is falling after every loss.
Yep.
You're playing 82 games. You are going to lose a string of games. You're going to have a string of games where you play bad hockey. To your point, I don't like that it's been 4 years since they've lost 4 in a row. But I just think there's so much context that goes with that at face value it can sound concerning, and you're not happy with the way they've played. Straight up, however you slice it, you're not happy with the way they've played. But I just don't think you can portray that into what's going to happen next. Go all the way back to the beginning of the season. 4-5-1 to start. Feels like they didn't lose until this week since that start. That's genuinely how it feels. It's just putting this much stock in 4 games because they happen to be near the end of the season. It was like that dude, the Edmonton writer a couple weeks ago, tweeted out, Mike Smith is 4-0 in his last 4 games. Does this change your opinion of who he is? It's like, yeah, the guy's 40 and he's had an entire career of being mediocre or below average. But yes, this 4-0 stretch changes who he is as a person.
Well, and we have that head-to-head graphic, right? So if you look at their body of work this year, you can go and visually see what they've done.
There is one team that they have not beaten.
Yeah.
2. I was wrong. 2.
Is it? It's Washington.
Washington.
Columbus.
But they got a point.
They got a
Yeah,
point.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Still, 2 teams in the entire NHL that they don't have a win against.
Right. And they're both in the East, so
Doesn't matter till
You
the
deal
finals.
with that when you're in the Cup final.
Right.
And Columbus not even going to make the playoffs. So,
Neither is Winnipeg, and they lost to them, too.
well, pack it in, I guess. I think we need to define the line between current frustration and long-term problem. And if you want to make the argument for that this is a long-term problem for the Avs, that their defense looks terrible, I will listen, and I think I would even agree with probably some of the points that you would make. But at the end of the day, every time I look at the Avs struggles on defense, I'm like, wow, Jack Johnson and Eric Johnson really didn't play well tonight. Well, one of them's not even in the lineup in the playoffs. And they're all facing easier competition because Devon Taves is taking the hardest minutes. Do you still want to see them play better? Of course.
Right.
Of course you want them to play better. Of course you want them to win hockey games. But again, the Avs as a team, beyond just the players on the ice, because I believe the players on the ice want to win every game to a certain extent, have made a decision that they're actively not icing the best lineup available to them. Jared Bednar has said, look, all these dudes we have scratched, if it was the playoffs, they'd be playing.
And I'll bet you it's the same thing for Mikko. He's I guess, I don't know, depending on how sick he is. My guess is he's sick, little stomach bug, maybe the flu. And they were like, yeah, we're not going to have you around to get everyone else sick. Head home. But that's even a guy that I'd be willing to bet would have sat out a game and then played. This is all, deliberate. Doesn't make losing any more fun. Doesn't make it an excuse for the guys that are on the ice not executing, right? But again, we are not here to give excuses. We're here to give context.
Exactly right.
I mean, and the other thing we're talking about here with the defense, right? I'm looking at time on ice. Jack Johnson, 19 minutes, 44 seconds on ice.
You think he's going to play that much in the playoffs?
Eric Johnson, 18 minutes, 51
seconds. He's going to play that much in the playoffs?
They are not going to play that much in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them combined for a -3 on the ice.
The chat keeps talking about Sam Girard. I'm not saying Sam Girard played a great game.
He played like shit tonight.
But he wasn't the worst defenseman on the team by a mile.
No.
What was Bowen Gale's ice time?
Byron played
Just as a heads up to everyone,
21 minutes, 44 seconds.
Sam Girard's not getting scratched. It's just not going to happen.
Insanity to even
it's
think
just,
that. Yeah.
It's just not
Girard
going to
played
happen.
22 minutes, 27 seconds, and was -2. So not a good showing from him, but he is one of those guys that's hot and cold, and it depends on who he's matched up with on how he plays. He's one of those guys that is if he's the guy that you're counting on that line, he does some stuff.
Girard is the guy who doesn't make the critical mistake, right?
Yeah.
He makes mistakes. He's far from a perfect player. I'm not trying to say that he is, but you look at his gameplay compared to Jack Johnson, compared to Eric Johnson, guys that, as Blais puts it, are throwing pizzas.
Yes.
It's not like that with Sammy at all. There are areas of the game that he struggles. 100% willing to admit that. But you have the much, much bigger issue of guys that should be bottom pairing defensemen playing way over their head for this team right now. And of course they're going to struggle. This shouldn't be surprising. Mm-hmm. It should be common knowledge that Jack Johnson playing almost 20 minutes a night isn't a good thing. We know this already.
Well, so it's what we've, and maybe I already made this point this week, so I apologize if I did. But it's the reverse of what we've talked about all year and what we talked about at the deadline, right? Where we spent so much this year saying this Avs team is so deep that it pushes everyone down it slots them into a position in the lineup that they should be, right? And you add Arturi Lehkonen, okay, that pushes this guy down, which puts him into a better role, and which then pushes this guy down. It's the exact opposite right now. You've got a bunch of guys that are normally at the top of your lineup out, which moves everyone up a rung.
Every tier.
And which means that on every single level, one guy is being asked to do more than what they are probably suited for. And that's how you get some of the results like this. That last one, I'm just trying to wrap this show up to get home in time to watch Vegas, San Jose.
To stay at the bar to catch the start of that one, maybe.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's something I really struggle with because I do understand. At the end of the day, the NHL is entertainment. And watching the team you root for play like shit, play a game that they very clearly don't care that much about, it sucks. It 100% sucks. No one is here going, yeah, this was great. The adversity the Avs face in these losses is really, no. Nobody's saying that. Obviously, they suck. But at the same time, I'm not convinced that this is at all a representation of what this team will be in the playoffs. And I haven't heard a convincing argument to make me worried about it yet.
Yeah, well, I've got people in my mentions being like, oh, they aren't like worried about winning. They don't want to win. They have no desire or passion to win in the playoffs. It's like, okay.
Was that me?
Sure.
Was that me? Was I on your mentions
Blais's
just now?
burner account, yeah.
I just don't. and maybe this is old boys clubby of me, but the playoffs and the last 3 games of the season for a team that doesn't care about them are such different universes.
So different, yeah.
Like that the two are so unrelated.
Other teams are on fire. The Avs just won 9 games in a row before this.
If you took the third period out of this game, how would everyone be feeling about this game?
Right.
You would have some concerns about the defense, right? Because there was pizzas all night, just all over the ice, right? Everyone's eating. There's pepperoni. There's pineapple for people out there, right? So, you are concerned about that. But if you take that last period out where it just went to the shitter, it was a fine game. If the Avs come out of this game, it's 1-0, you're feeling good about this game, right? Things change. This is a team that's uninspired.
Yeah.
Right now, for sure.
They're at the end of the season, like what we've talked about. They're doing the smart thing. They're not overcommitting to things and being concerned about the moment right now. Mm-hmm. Because the moment right now doesn't mean shit.
Right. Yeah.
Full stop.
Straight up.
Full stop. What when does it matter? It matters on, what is it, May
2nd, 3rd, whatever it is, yeah.
Whatever day they play their first game, that's when
If
this
the
matters
Avs
again.
Win game 1 of round 1. No one ever thinks about the last 2 weeks ever
tune in.
again.
If they lose game 1, tune in because I will have a different tune about what's going on.
100%. And game 1 is what matters, right?
Yep.
If they win game 1, everyone goes, yeah, well, there's the regular season. Nobody cares. If they lose game 1, everyone's going to be like, they haven't won a game in weeks. What is going on? Oh, my God. They couldn't get up for the playoffs. But it doesn't matter until they get there.
Yeah.
Whoa, did that comment just says the Avs are just now facing adversity?
No. Wrong.
The show's over, guys.
We have a king of the game. Give us king of the game. I specifically chose JT Compher just to piss off everyone.
It's
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Good.
All right, so let's talk about Darcy Kuemper. I thought he was fantastic all night. He was the real king of the game. And I told Rudo I wouldn't talk about JT Compher during this segment because Darcy Kuemper was the king of the game. He was lights out for 50 minutes.
.909.
On
909.
Gave up 4 goals and he's a 909.
909.
Dude made 40 saves in a game where he gave up 4 goals. Darcy Kuemper they should have gotten a win for him in this game.
But
Definitely.
I don't think that's king of the game, though. That's on average for a goalie, right? Like, for every 10 shots on goal, you expect a
yeah.
goal.
Yeah, and he was slightly above that.
So he was slightly above it. So I guess you could give it to him.
What other player from the Avs would you say was slightly above average tonight? He scored 1 goal. Let's relax.
That is the most
Hold
on the
on, hold
Avs.
on.
That is the most on the Avs.
Hold on.
What is average?
And by the way, just to say the Avs haven't faced any adversity this year is absolutely laughable.
Nonsense. Do you remember that they started the season 4-5-1?
4-5-1, injuries out the
Everywhere.
ass.
They had a extra COVID break.
AJ was riding him off. He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
they weren't going to make the playoffs.
He was like,
so-
yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. They're the fluke team this season to miss. They had a week where they didn't have Kemper or Francouz. They had no
Eustace Annunen got a win this season.
Yeah. They haven't played a game with their full 20-man roster.
Genuinely
once.
not one.
Not once.
Insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you're going to give a king of the game, it's going to the Winnipeg Jets.
This guy that wanted to give it to Evander Kane last game.
Oh, my God.
I did want to give it
Probably
to
would've been
Evander
right,
Kane.
yeah.
He deserved it.
Scored a hat trick, yeah.
No
And
doubt.
had an assist.
Not taking anything away from Kemper. I'm just saying Compher was the only forward that put the puck in the back
Well,
of the
I'm
net
taking
tonight.
something away from Compher then.
Well, okay. I see how
That was
it
a nice finish. I think I'm a bigger believer in JT Compher than most.
17 goals this
17
year.
goals
Look,
this year.
you know why I like him? Is because he's a gamer, and when the playoffs start, he's a big-time player during those big-time games.
He has scored an underrated amount of big-time goals for the Avs.
Yep.
Like, in big moments.
Yeah, that's
And-
why I don't care what he does throughout the season. Like, at the
Right.
beginning of the season, everyone's like, he needs to go. He's done. Trade him. And it's like, well, if you're really counting on him to be that guy during the regular season, you're going to be let down
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
But if you look back on playoff games, he is a player. He is a factor in those games.
Yeah.
I love this comment from Name here. The last time the Avs went 4-5-1, they lost 4 games over the next 2 months. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, but Compher, that's one thing that I always think about with him is and he ends up in those situations because of the type of player he is and again, people complain about his, consistency and stuff. Dude goes to the net. He's not afraid to get punched in the back of the head and he puts his stick on the ice. And
Yep.
he's a pest in front. It was his shot that led to the Sven Andrighetto goal in Nashville.
Yep.
He had a huge goal against Calgary. He had 2 huge goals against San Jose. I think he had a big one last year against Vegas.
I'll take your word
In
for
the
it.
second round, I think. But like you said, he's a gamer, and he is.
Yeah.
There have been a weird amount of moments over the last 3-4 years that it's been JT Compher who comes through and 3 shy of a 20-goal season.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
But not as good as Kuemper tonight. You are correct.
So go over to DraftKings and take the Kuemper over on saves if that's what you want to do. Obviously, DraftKings has you covered top to bottom with whatever bet you could possibly imagine.
He would have hit it. I think he hit his.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Just barely?
Yeah.
You can get over there. You can bet on any NBA game when you sign up with a new account to DNVR. That's the code. Use DNVR. Bet $5, any NBA game. You don't even have to get your bet right, and you get $150 in free bets. It's that easy. So go over there. Go to DraftKings. Bet on Kuemper to hit his saves. Bet on the Avs to be good in the playoffs. Bet on... who's good at the Tour de France? I don't know. That's coming up soon, right?
Lance Armstrong?
Not anymore.
Neil
No.
Armstrong?
Neil Armstrong.
Bet on the next person to be on the moon.
One of the Armstrongs has to be good, right?
Get over there. Use the DNVR code when you sign up. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Jesse,
Yes.
sell me on Athletic Greens.
Total. Oh, quag. I thought that said quarantine laugh. I was like, what's a quarantine laugh? Yeah, man. So, look, Hannah and I drink a scoop. I'm not quite every morning, mostly just because I struggle to make routines.
I feel you.
And
Really selling us on this.
yeah, well,
Keep going,
I was
Jesse.
laughing at the miming going on over here.
You want to see how shiny my nails are?
Your nails, yeah. Well, so.
Athletic Greens is making my nails.
Dude, so Hannah drinks it every morning. Neither her or I are coffee people. Every
God.
single morning. Get those out of the light.
Look at this.
Oh, my
Actually,
goodness.
for real. Yeah, I can see that from here. Honestly.
Great for your keratin, apparently.
But no, she drinks them every morning. We are not coffee people. I like drinking one because it gives me a little boost of energy in the morning. I'm not like an ultra picky eater, but I just don't think vegetables go with certain foods. Like I get Chinese food with no vegetables because that doesn't go.
All right, well, that's wrong.
And now,
Dude, the
With-
food
with-
takes on this pod are just awful.
with Athletic Greens, it's literally your full day worth of fruits and veggies. So like you can add other veggies throughout the day if you want, but if not, one glass of water and you're done. Makes your fingernails shiny. For me, it's the energy, and like it is just a really good, almost kind of like cheat way to get in a full day's worth of fruits and veggies. Like you do it and it's done. I legitimately do feel like I feel better, just like a little bit more alert and awake. I'm all about it, dude. They're awesome.
We can give you all of the anecdotal evidence that we want that like it's genuinely a great hangover cure and all of that, but the facts can't be denied, right? There's 75 high quality vitamins in it. They have minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens all in it. So all that good shit going into your body, you just dump one scoop of it into your cup of water. I recommend taking it in the morning, but you can take it any time in the day, really, if you wanted. You can jump over there, and they're giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D when you order, plus 5 free travel packs, so you can take it with you when you go wherever you go. You can go over to athleticgreens.com/avalanche to let them know we sent you over there. Pick up your order today. That's athleticgreens.com/avalanche to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional supplement. Easy. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I imagine the super chats are like unbelievably mad at us. $5 from Billy. People moaned last year about them burning themselves out trying to win the Prez. Now everyone is complaining because they are resting Pick a Lane. Can't win. Sometimes you can't win. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like the Avs, you
Great.
can't win.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
All right. That one was teed up for you a little bit, but great comment, Billy. Great comment.
Not a super chat, but Simply Amusing says Tampa Bay lost their last 3 games last season, and the rest is history. So maybe don't worry so much.
Yeah, dude, this one is so great.
Blais and Jesse talking back and forth like the little devil on an angel on Rudo's shoulders, and I can't unsee it. Love
so
it.
good.
Love the imagery. $10 from Zach. DNVR fam always makes these garbage games better. We do our best. I know some of you don't like our takes. I'm glad that some of you do.
I feel like we just try to have the conversation that everyone is having, like in their individual homes.
It's the same, just like the conversation you're having with your buddy in your living room. That's what we're trying to be, man.
We're trying to let you know that you're not alone. You are not the only people with terrible takes like Blais. Like Blais is out there.
Wow.
If you're not concerned about the last 4 games, you're not a human. I'm sorry.
Someone, a good buddy of mine tweeted, if you're not concerned about the last 4 games, you're lying. And I just quote tweeted saying, I'm not concerned about the last 4 games.
I think that's real, right? Like, I understand being concerned about these 4 games. I disagree with you, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I get it.
You don't want to see the team lose ever.
No.
You would like to see them go 82-0. I think you realistically understand that that's not feasible. I think you understand that the Avs are better than this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And that's what's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's why this is frustrating.
You want to trust the process. And usually the process is in the beginning of the year, you lose a bunch of games. As the year goes on, you
get
start
better.
winning more and more games, right? That's where this is concerning because they did that. They started out shitty, like, right?
Is it concerning or is it frustrating?
It's a little bit of both. And part of that is they're not playing for anything. So you can see how they can not, like, just bear down and win these games. But again, it goes back to that whole thing. Like, do you want them to bear down right now?
Right. Sell
Give
out.
it their all, sell out, get injuries to win those games. Because does that really matter?
We should make this a Twitter poll. Like, would you have rather the Avs playing do or die for the last 2 months?
Right.
Or would you rather the Avs going in on the top, not playing particularly
You
well?
are heading in, you are a week away from a brand new season where nothing matters.
Yeah.
How you finish the season doesn't matter. How you started the season doesn't matter.
Just get in.
Where you
Exactly.
finished
doesn't
matter. It is a brand new season where you are, as great a season the Avs have had, they will be playing do or die, hanging your life on every single play. That is a tough way to play. It's why the Stanley Cup is so hard to win. The NBA is it's the exact same format. Those are tough championships to win. You want to be going in as fresh as possible, as ready for that run as possible. To be honest, I don't want to be these teams that are having to fight. Is it snowing?
It does kind of look like
It is snowing.
I don't care about anything now. Now I'm just
He's over it.
But you don't want to be these teams that have had to go through their own playoff run just to get in and then start that cycle over. It's frustrating. It's annoying.
You've seen.
You mean like when the
team.
Kings had to fight to get in and then won the
Did
Stanley
they
Cup?
fight though? Was it like a dog fight for them to get in?
They barely made it in.
Yeah.
You've seen the opposite. You've seen the opposite with the Avs. The Colorado Avalanche, their first year in the playoffs of this run.
Yeah, of this core.
They get in. They go hard against Nashville. They pull out of Game 5.
Yep.
And that was a team that just had nothing fucking left.
They
in
ran
Game
out of
6.
gas,
There
yeah.
was just nothing there.
Yeah, and out of goalies. Good call, yes.
And you can't see the future. We've said that on this pod multiple times. If the Avs go into round 1 and they look like an exhausted team and they get beat because of it, that's horseshit. At that point, we're going to rip them to fucking shreds because they have no excuse for being tired based on this stretch of the season. This is the part where they get healthy, they get rested, and then they come in strong. So if it goes bad in the playoffs, punish them twice as worse. 100%. Understand that. But we're not there yet. You can't punish them for something that hasn't happened.
Well, and just here's the other thing, and this is just to get into full-on hypotheticals, right? Just full make-believe land. Let's say the Avs had run that 9-0 stretch to 16-0 to end the regular season and then go out and lay a turd in the first round.
What did those 16 wins mean?
Right,
Nothing.
Right.
They meant nothing.
And it's the same thing here.
But what if they lose these games and then lose in the first round.
Still has. My point is, there's just as much correlation between that and winning 16 games in a row and losing the first round. Like, it's frustrating. It's annoying. Again, I was talking to RK during the game, and I said, what sucks about this is that we have seen them play so well all season. We've seen the effort. We've seen the systems. We've seen the process. So when you watch a few games in a row where it's not there, it's extra disappointing because it's like, I know you've done it. You've done it for 70 games. Where is it?
Yeah.
That's why it's frustrating. I can't get myself to be concerned. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. I'm not concerned going forward. And now it's snowing and I'm just pissed.
It's just that kind of day.
Yeah.
All right? It's just that kind of day. As Chat has already pointed out, thank you, Chat. Both Makar and Manson are fine, according to Bednar. Nothing major. So.
1-1 Vegas.
Well,
and San Jose.
Makar came off pretty, like,
Yeah,
he was
pretty
limping.
gingerly.
He ate
Yeah,
shit, and
yeah.
he was like, all right, I'm
But then
outta
the next
here.
shift, he was totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah, AJ was at the game in Winnipeg tonight, working it like a real man, and he'll be back for the playoffs. Probably a little before the playoffs, but, you know. So, look forward to AJ. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to be mad, be mad.
Okay.
Fan how you want to fan.
Okay, deal.
Personally, I'm not going to be that mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and think, boy, is it playoffs yet? And that's where I'm at, chat. Any final thoughts from either of you two? Nope.
I'm good.
Be concerned.
Oh, my God.
End the show, y'all here.
We're getting out of here. Thank you, everyone, for watching along. We appreciate all of y'all. I feel like we gave a pretty even and balanced take. I'm sure all of y'all will be mad in the YouTube comments, but I feel like we did a decent job. Anyway, we love you. Like and subscribe. We will talk to you. We're on tomorrow. We are on tomorrow, so we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Game on Tuesday.
Game Tuesday, all that jazz. See you then.